Welcome to Rauta's opinion video. Recently I made a video about Spotify and other streaming services banning music which is considered sort of hate speech. Either they're promoting racist, fascist, clear Nazi music or other white supremacy thing or whatever, and the streaming services are taking those out because they are supposedly promoting all kind of hatred and negative things in the world. Now, when I mentioned in my video, and I'm not going to repeat it too much, I was saying that this is a kind of a slippery slope which we don't want to go too deep. I also mentioned that this isn't exactly any kind of solution to the problem. So if you have a disease, you want to treat it, not just the symptoms. So Matt Harvey of many bands, mostly famed of Exhumed and other death metal and such bands in the US, recently wrote a lengthy paragraph in kind of a reply to the article and open letters which were about Hell's Headbangers Records and their distribution of NSBM, that is National Socialist Black Metal. Now, I didn't spend time reading those open letter stuff or the dialogue before it because it's just beyond the point here. Matt Harvey did write a really long post, and I think it could have been way more, into the point instead of being over lengthy. But he also had lots of good points and examples throughout the text, be it band or about a band or lyrics or just about how society works and what kind of climate metal music has or have had in the past. So the thing was basically replying to the very same matter I was talking, except Matt Harvey didn't talk about streaming services, but more about kind of a boycott idea of these kind of distros or record labels which allegedly have NSBM and other stuff that can be seen as hateful or hate speech music. Now the thing is that Matt Harvey is right in many of his points. Metal has never been political as in the whole essence of what metal music is. But there has been very many examples throughout the history. Also Black Sabbath, like he mentioned, since the metal was started. So there has been a lot of political lyrics or points or views or whatever, given what is the circumstance in the music. Like he says in the text, thrash metal had very many political views back in the 80s especially. Napalm Death and such bands have had their political views throughout their whole career and so forth. So there are lots of bands who have stated an opinion which could be seen as a political matter, or so, even though the band itself might not be political as an entity of sorts. The thing is that Matt Harvey is also right about the fact that bitching and complaining and writing anonymous open letters to a record label about distributing NSBM and other such stuff is not gonna change a thing. It's as useless as basically Spotify and other stuff, banning the type of music from the services. In my video I stated that those kind of CDs and LPs will just go underground. So Spotify and other such services don't have basically no effect on the matter. Now you might be claiming that, well, if we also remove all these kind of distribution places and labels that are promoting this kind of stuff, it gets even harder to find that kind of material. True, given there are some points in that, but it also means that this kind of music gets even more into underground, and it even more makes this kind of music valued in the places where they're valued in the first place. So it's not like the average Joe is going to turn into a Nazi just because he can, order a CD or vinyl from a kind of an underground black metal or death metal distribution. And like Matt Harvey says, most people selling those CDs, LPs, or whatever formats, even though the message might be NSBM when it comes to the given bands like Absurd or whatever, it's not like these guys are actually promoting anything. They're just making money, running a label, running a distro, or whatever. If that thing hurts your feelings or makes you want to boycott a certain label, band, I don't know, person or a gig, or venue, go ahead. There's nobody stopping you doing that. It's well, we have this saying like vote with your wallet. So don't carry your money to a place which is against your ideology, so to speak. But this kind of witch hunt after certain type of political views is, I don't think it's not gonna lead any place. Like I said in my video, if you're gonna go to this path where we start labeling certain kind of ideologies and bands that are doing that, you start labeling them and banning them from stuff, like it's like where we're gonna stop doing that. Like Matt Harvey mentioned, there are bands like Slayer which have had their Nazi imagery in their albums or their lyrics. We could also say same about Motorhead's Lemmy Kilmister, that he had a huge collection of Nazi items, so should he be labeled as Nazi, and so forth. There's no clear line which you can just draw and say that it's not like this is where it is. And now that these kind of bands are totally okay and these kind of bands are not. Like I said also in my video, it should also apply to religious music as well. They are full of hatred with all their Old Testament and Quran or whatever. So this is kind of a tricky thing if we start witch hunting. It's kind of a Orwellian dystopia that Big Brother is keeping eye on each other. We are supposed to report all the misbehavior or bad ideological thoughts or wrong religion, wrong political movement or whatever to each other, and do that. Now I'm not defending all this Nazi stuff or fascist or white supremacy stuff. It's no concern of mine. And what I mean is it doesn't bother me, but it's not also the type of music which gets my fluids going on, so to speak. But as freedom of thought, freedom of speech and all that stuff, I think there is space for this kind of music. Metal has never been this kind of a safe space music if we talk about space. It's always been about the message goes hand in hand with the music. If the music is aggressive, the lyrics are probably too. And this is one of the topics Harvey actually mentioned in his long text. So it's not like, you're gonna make death metal and sing about, picking flowers or, writing a love letter or whatever. So these are also the kind of vents we need to, go with our thoughts and feelings and emotions. And this, if like sort of hateful music is, if it seems that it's, suddenly becoming more and more popular, which I don't think is the case in any way if you look at the figures or numbers, it's probably something to do with the political climate of the global world. And by saying that, I mean there are, be it Trump, be it Muslims, be it terrorism, be it Christianity, be it Nazis, be it lesbo, bisexual, gay, transgender culture, whatever. There are all kind of fights going on, and now people are even more to get angry about this and that, be it about your sexuality, or be it about your skin color, or be it about religion or wrong opinions, political or whatever. So it's just like everybody is stirring up all this hatred and negativity and all that shit. Then there are also talk about safe space and blah blah blah. So if we think this for a couple of seconds, it is just like everybody's contributing to this kind of hateful stuff, so to speak. Antifa is going against many extreme metal bands because Antifa claims that this and that band has Nazi ideology or imagery or whatever, like this Marduk case, which was cancelled in the US during the summer a few weeks ago, a couple of months ago. But Antifa is also promoting sort of violence and aggressive behavior with their stuff. I'm gonna actually do about Antifa and other metal video later on, so I'm not gonna deeper into that subject. But what I mean is that it's not like this situation is going anywhere anytime soon. Yeah, we can remove Nazis. What's going to change? Do you think that world peace suddenly comes here and boom, that's it? Unfortunately, no. The kind of stuff ceases to continue. It keeps on continuing, and it's not like everything gonna stop or cease to exist just because we remove one enemy or problem or disease or whatever you want to call it. So I actually urge you to read Matt Harvey's long text. There's lots of repetition, and there's lots of stuff that might feel like it's just null and void, but I think it's worthwhile reading if you're at all into this kind of topic when it comes to metal music. Since my brains are now getting back and forth and I'm totally losing my message here, I'm gonna end it right here and just urge you to leave your comments below on our Facebook page and show your love or hate or whatever you feel doing, because that's what the world is all about. So thanks for watching, and please come back again for more rants and opinions. Rauta out.